Good morning. Well, it's good morning for me. It is 7:30 in the morning. I kind of like doing things early in the morning and getting them done. If I have uploaded this, that means that I've bought a house and we are moving into that house, or maybe another house. I'm not quite sure. Where we are at this stage is currently the 30th of July, and today's actually the day our mortgage is being discussed by the bank. We don't have to join the appointment. I'm guessing they will just let us know if it's been approved or not. But as it stands right now, I'm expecting we'll be moving in sort of end of October, November time. That is like my realistic expectation. I would obviously love to move in earlier than that, but I don't really think that's going to happen. Hello, future me jumping in here. As you can see, we are much later on. There's literally a Christmas tree behind me, but I thought I'd give a little bit of context on this video. I obviously filmed this way in advance back in July. I just never really knew when to post it because I was so terrified of jinxing the house sale. The whole process took a lot longer, so it's actually hilarious watching me say that I thought we were going to move in at the end of November when in fact we are now moving in at the end of December. I really wanted to film this video at the time to kind of look at all of my inspo that I had without really having thought about it being applied to the house. My ideas and visions for the house have definitely changed a lot. Some things are the absolute same, and I can talk about that in an upcoming video. Obviously, it feels a bit weird posting this now considering that this is so long ago. I posted an empty house tour last week, so some of you might have already seen the space and would have already seen a few glimpses of inspo in that video as well that I have, but I've literally only touched on the surface of what we want to do. Maybe in the new year I can make a revised version and show you exactly room by room what I have planned. But yeah, I'll let you get back to the video. I'm super keen to be planning the rooms of the house more detailed. Before I want to do that, I want to have something that I can look back on and see the progression and the design and the taste. I think my personal taste is quite consistent and has been consistent for a few years now, but I imagine when you move in somewhere, my inspiration is going to have to be drastically reeled in when we move in, just based on what is realistic, what is affordable, and what is actually doable. Whereas right now, I can still be dreaming, So this is my interior Pinterest board, and I have organized it into all these different categories, which I thought we could just kind of go through. A lot of them are quite obvious, like bathroom, kitchen, dining area, but then we have more broader ones like color, fabrics, specific items. But let's just go through it as you would go through the house. So we're going to start with the living room. I have a whole board just for wall shelving. I really wanted to make something like this in our current flat, but the walls just weren't made for it. We weren't able to do it, and we got some Billy bookcases instead. I just love this idea of really full bookshelves, especially under the TV unit. I feel like it kind of draws attention away from the TV a little bit. I would love to be that really cool person that just doesn't own a TV, but I watch way too much TV and movies and YouTube to not be owning a television. I mean, things like this are just amazing. I love good shelving. I think that's my obsession. I love the shelving behind the sofa. I think that's so nice. I mean, you'd have to have a really big space. I considered doing it in our flat, but there was just too much shelving going on for not a lot of space. I actually found these when I was looking for our shelving alternatives. When I did buy the Billy bookcases in the end, I found these and they were so expensive. I was shook, and it was a good reality check, This I find really pretty as well, but I don't like things being on the floor. I used to have a massive stack of magazines on the floor. It was just a nightmare to clean because they're so heavy, so whenever you're hoovering you have to pick everything up. But in terms of colors and stuff, this is amazing. Like all the throw pillows, the vase, the wall art, the flowers on the coffee table. That's definitely one way I want to integrate colors more through the little things. It's all about the accessorizing, the flowers you bring to your home, the vases you put the flowers in, the coffee table books you're displaying. Although with that being said, I am obsessed with a good strong red moment, like the shelving and this chair. This is kind of going into the dining area area thing, but I would love to get a really big dining table and all the chairs are mismatched. I think that's really, really cool. Now, something like this is probably a more realistic shelving situation that we could integrate. Our house is going to hopefully, fingers crossed, be a terrace house, and if you are familiar with the terrace houses, a lot of the times they have chimneys. It leaves room in between like windows and chimney breast to build in some shelving, which I would really like to do. So the reason why I keep saying that I'm not sure whether this will be the house, even though our mortgage appointment was literally today, is that so many things can still go wrong. Since looking for a house, so many people have told me absolute horror stories of them buying a house and it falling through at a point where they had already like sold their own house, cancelled their lease, or have like their entire belongings boxed up in moving boxes, and I just don't really want that to happen. So I have been really nervous about making this video because I don't want to jinx a house sale falling through. I mean, there's some things in my board like this which are so incredibly unrealistic, but this is just amazing. I love this lounge set thing. It's so nice. This again is so what I mean with colours, like the different coloured candles, the striped pillowcases, the throw blanket, the art. I think this is definitely a bit more cluttered than what I would like it to be, but in terms of colour scheme and like coziness, this is definitely it. I think especially when we're first moving in, we're planning to paint all the walls white just so everything's nice and fresh, and then I think over the years I want to integrate more colour onto the walls. This is definitely how I see it looking when we very first move in. I've also been saving Choice of Anne's house. It's just so beautiful, all the colours, all the textures. This I also really like. I think this is where I'm a little bit stuck. I love the mid-century modern, but I also love a good Scandinavian moment. Like the wood is a lot lighter, the colours chosen are a lot lighter, more pastel. I don't know how I'm going to integrate both of those styles. I think the wood tones are definitely going to be darker, and that might then lean more into the mid-century modern, whereas I love this blue and I love these like yellow flowers. I think that is really gorgeous. Like this I just love. This feels a lot more classic and timeless. I don't know, it's really hard to like make a decision. This again is what I mean with the cluttered bookcases. I'm obsessed. Like this is the perfect level of clutteredness. All the magazines on top as well. I love how bright and airy this room is. Our dining room will be the south facing room, whereas the living room is north facing. So I think in our house this room would be very similar lit. I love the low hanging lampshades, and again like the wall art and stuff. It's just that I think in our version the wood would be a lot darker. I was obsessed with this as well because of the little nook area. I don't think I could have both, you know, it's either you're gonna have a big dining table or you're gonna have a nook area. But I also like the idea of having a big dining table in the middle of the room with all the like different colored chairs, and then where the south facing window is, we could maybe just create a little like bench area so that the option is there to move the table out of the way or to have it in the middle, kind of just depending on whether you're entertaining, whether you're just the two of you, whether your family's over, and it just gives a bit more seating option. I don't know if that's excessive. Like that's one of the ideas that will either become true or is going to be absolutely ridiculous once you're in the space. I just love this. And again, the low hanging, very similar lampshade. This is beautiful as well. I definitely love the dining table in the middle, and then still having like some kind of console on the side, which then would also store some really nice glassware and tableware, things that you don't want to keep in your kitchen for like everyday storage. This I'm so obsessed with. My dream eventually, maybe not in this house, but maybe in a house in the future, is to have a table in the kitchen. I'm always going backwards. Like I'm guessing maybe the dream is to have a separate dining room, but I almost don't see the point in having that. What I love about having a table in the kitchen is the like community aspect of it. So when you have people over and you're cooking, they can sit down, they can mingle in the kitchen. I have always loved that. My grandparents actually have like sofas and like armchairs in their kitchen so that you can sit in the armchair whilst chatting to whoever's preparing the food. I think that's so nice. Like when you're done with cooking, you just turn around, put the food on the table and everyone's there. I don't know, I think this is so sweet. This again is a very Scandi inspired thing. I think I mainly love this for the wall colour. Maybe I should move this into my color board. This is just so nice. I love the lampshade. I love the checkerboard floor. I don't care if that's trendy. I think it's timeless to me. Like the amount of old apartments that you see that naturally have checkerboard floor in them, I think that's gorgeous. And all the different like inbuilt shelving and the like open window, I think this is so adorable. This again, great inspo for a big old dining table. I mean, it will just be the two of us, so it's not needed, but I would like to host more once we have a house and we have a garden. I think it would be really nice to have a big table. It's not a necessity, but eventually it would be nice to have. And look at how many chairs you can fit around there as well. This is some nice Troye Sivan inspo again. I think the main thing actually is the tiling. I would really love for the kitchen to have this kind of dark red tiling. The kitchen at the moment has like a grey tiling and I hate it, and I would love to source some tiles like this. I think that would be so nice. And with that being said, let's move on to the kitchen, which I'm quite excited about. We actually recently went to Curry's just randomly to pick something up, and we were looking at fridges and we're so excited to get a big fridge. I love how they have these like personal film photos, letters on this one, like all the magnets of where you've been, stickers, all these memories. I would love to do that. I think the fridge just becomes its own little piece of art. So the cabinets in the kitchen are very modern. It's more the floor and wall tiles that are a bit outdated. So this cabinetry is quite similar to what is already in the house, so we wouldn't have to buy like a new kitchen. But what it doesn't have is like main appliances like an oven, dishwasher, fridge, things like that. And when I saw this red extractor fan, I was obsessed. I'd love the possibility of getting like a normal silver kind of extractor fan similar to this. Like I love the size of that one, and some like film vinyl and make it red so that it can still be peeled off when we do sell the house. But I just think that's so nice. I just love a pop of red. Like you can't go wrong. Also, if we're ever to do any more intense building work, a nice inbuilt shelf, so nice. Like what an amazing like architectural feature. This is gorgeous. I love the colors of this kitchen. It's so nice. I just had to take a little break, sorry about that. My camera died and I put it on charge, but I didn't realize I didn't turn the plug on, so it's been like an hour. But we are back and we are going to finish talking about the kitchen. Dying for a KitchenAid, would love one eventually. This kitchen room is amazing. I would love to eventually be able to extend the kitchen, and this is definitely a big inspo. It's got the dining table in the middle. This door could lead to the loo, and then here you can exit to go to the garden. Again, also love the touches of red in the lampshade and the like vase situation where you literally have a whole tree coming out. I'm obsessed with that. Again, we have a lovely fridge being decorated. I just think that's so sweet. These mirrors over the doorway, I'm obsessed with. I will 100% be doing that as well. I think that's so nice, especially leading into the dining room. It just creates such great, I don't know, depth, I feel. Also, lots of open shelving inspo. I think the trick is not to overfill the shelves, which is kind of hard, like to achieve this perfect level of clutter without being messy. This is exactly what I mean with having like a console in your dining area. I think that's so nice to display all your items. My mum has one like this. It almost looks identical to hers. But yeah, I love that. Just so many beautiful kitchens. I'm definitely aiming for like a bright and neutral space, but then with lots of colour. So let's do the bedroom. I think bedroom is going to be kept very simple. I like a bedroom where there's literally just a bed in. I don't want to do anything in the bedroom other than sleep. That is kind of how we currently have it in our flat. We do also have a wardrobe in our bedroom, which I think is fair, but the bedroom definitely is something where I would like to have a bit more fun, because it's not a room that you would naturally spend a lot of time in. I think this is really where I want to add colour, stripes and ginghams and things like that. I think this is like a nice example of how something can be, again, cluttered but in like a functional way. Like the only clutter that really is there is some vases and books, which it makes sense off next to the bed anyways. I'm just so excited to experiment with all the different duvet covers, all the striped designs. I am hoping to get like a mid-century modern bed frame like this with the integrated like side table, and then with the sconces on top. That is my dream, which I think that it could be reality. I have been keeping an eye out on Facebook Marketplace. Then for the office space, this is not as interesting. I work from home 6 out of 7 days in the week. For my 9 to 5, I do go into the office maybe like once a week, but apart from that, I am working from home pretty much all of the time. I don't really think I'm going to change it up too much to how it is at the moment. The shelving behind me with the curtains, I'm going to take it with me as is. I really like that, but then the desk area is maybe something that I would consider. consider upgrading a little bit. I do again love the open shelving here. I think with these shelves, I'm glad they're covered up, but with some shelving, I think it's good to have them exposed because it does just force you to be tidy. So this area I really love. There's such great lighting coming in here as well. I definitely want to add more wall art. I want to put some notes on the wall and stuff like that. This is actually one of the images that inspired my current setup. However, instead of this desk, I have just like a white plank desk, and I would like to upgrade to a more sturdy desk. However, I do also like they are kind of like inbuilt into spaces, so whether I'm gonna get like an old wooden desk or I'm gonna build like a big area like this, I'm not quite sure yet. I think it's really gonna depend on the space, and it will probably be something that I'm going to do over time because the office is going to be the easiest thing to move. It's going to be the easiest thing to set up in the new house. It's kind of depending on whether we'll be able to do the renovation, but I'm hoping to create a little nook for the washer dryer, because usually obviously in the UK we have the washing machine in the kitchen, which I don't have an issue with that, but we might be able to create its own nook outside of the kitchen, and then I would love to cover it up with some fabric. I think that would look so gorgeous. Then we have lots of wall art inspo. I'm sure I would do a dedicated video on creating like DIY wall art because I'm so inspired by all of these like colorful frames, the colorful backdrops, and then just the messiness of it is so fun. I also feel like this really heals my inner child. I used to do collages and hang them on my wall all the time, and that does feel a bit more childish, but it's like a good way to do it as an adult. Also hanging wall art in like unexpected places, so I've been trying to do that in our flat as well. Cute little tiny frame in between the two doorways is so clever. And yeah, I'm just hoping to really utilize some of the, I don't know, personal trinkets and stuff that we have and to showcase them. Then we were looking for houses. As soon as the house had stained glass, I was sold. I don't think our house now has any stained glass, but we do ever do any renovations, I would love to include some. And I do sometimes see in Facebook Marketplace people selling old doors for indoors, and they do sometimes also have stained glass. There's lots and lots of inspo. It's definitely a little bit overwhelming. I feel like I can now finally plan room by room, and I will obviously share how that goes. I even considered downloading Sims again so I can build my house on there. That's literally what I used to do when I was a child. I'd look up random floor plans on Pinterest and I would recreate the house. So this is my dream come true. This is like real life Sims. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun. I feel so inspired now, and I can't wait to share more of the house journey with you. Like I said, this is such a massive dream come true for me. I don't even know when I'll be posting this. It will probably be like months to go. I'm gonna have to save this footage in a folder titled Do Not Delete, because I have a tendency to just delete stuff. I love a digital declutter, and I'm so paranoid that I'm gonna delete this before it goes up in like a few months time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.